Hi there everyone, thanks to my new subscribers. This is Capricorn for January 2020. I have pulled the Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Seven of Swords. I get the feeling from this deck that Capricorn is really feeling a sense of independence at the beginning of January. It feels to me that you feel that you followed your passions for a very long time, but you were lying to yourself in respect of your heart. You always feel very deceived in love, and I feel that even though you have a desire to build your empire, that you're in a good space emotionally wise, and that you most likely feel you're comfortable in a partnership. Alternatively, you feel you're comfortable by yourself. I feel that you're still looking for something, you're still searching for something. And if you're in a partnership with somebody, you're kind of holding on to that person for the sake of appearances. You know, it's like something, a facade that you want to give out there, a facade of emotional stability, a facade of wealth, a facade of independence, whatever that may be. I feel that you feel that everything's going well in your life at the beginning of January, and you're just holding on to those aspects of your life you can hold on to convince yourself otherwise. Or so you don't convince yourself otherwise is more to the point. But no matter what your situation is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's excellent, you are still comfortable in your circumstances, you are still happy. You still feel stable. Even if it means like it's just you in a saucepan and your pet, you're happy. That is the point. Particularly at the beginning of January. So your material wealth is internal. It's not external. Feel that you have a real love for nature, and you're working on those loves. You feel that you have it made because you have the house, the home, and the partner in some respects for those people who are coupledoms. For those who are singles, feel you have it made because you've held on to your sanctity throughout all the lies and the passions and the arguments. You've really held on to your notion of what it means to be emotionally and materially stable. And sometimes, it's just finding stability in the simple things in life is the point I'm trying to make. But Capricorns at the beginning of January really feel that stability. But I feel that if you're in a coupledom, you're holding on to the life for the sake of the material wealth, the material gains. Because Capricorns have followed their passions for a very long time. And it's not as if you can bring somebody in and make your house a home. Your sense of character is inherent in your independence and your passion for life. That's the point I'm making. And so you're really feeling that at the beginning of January. So as you move into the middle of January, where you're feeling steady in your job, you're feeling like you're happy with seeking out promotions, you're feeling calm, you're feeling enlivened, by the middle of January, you're reflecting again. You're really working on your spirituality, and you're working on the devotion to yourself has transmuted you, that energy about feeling that having a person there, even if you feel you're living a lie, is going to transmute into a more independent and reclusive state, because it feels to me like you're really deciding on what works for you, and you know that your independence works for you above all else. And I'm getting to the point of why this information is important if you're in a coupledom. But if you're independent, you're going to become more reclusive, because your sense of purpose and your sense of self is your independence. You know, the reason you've followed your old passions for so long is because you don't want to live a lie in respect of love. And you feel you're living a lie every time you date someone, every time you see someone, because your sense of self and your independence is more important to you than, and your career or your job or building wealth or just living the simple life without a job or a career is what's important to you. Doing what you want to do is important to Capricorns, and it's coming to the fore in January. So by the middle of January, you're going to become really reclusive, you're going to work on your spirituality, and you're going to really think about what it is you want for yourself. Because I feel that by the end of January, Capricorns are revising their life. Because what's important to a Capricorn in the month of January is change. What's important, what they thought was important at the beginning of January, where they're just appreciating their wealth and they're developing their status in life, which may include a partner, is no longer relevant. For those Capricorns who are in an insincere partnership, there's a great possibility that you could break up, because the energy is going to move you into a much more reclusive state of mind. And when you're there getting in touch with your spirituality and really understanding and focusing on your devotion to yourself, things are going to change in respect of what you want, because that's what's going to happen in the middle of January. You're not going to get out. The energy's moving you into a space where you have to really think about what true wealth is, what a true sense of self is, what a true sense of independence is. You know, everything that counts is about January for Capricorn. And at the beginning of January, you thought what counted was your wealth, your stability, your baked beans on toast, your seedlings that you're growing in the garden, whatever. You know, I mean, when I talk about wealth, I talk about your sense of self, sense of stability. Doesn't mean that you're wealthy, but you do have a focus on those aspects at the beginning of January. So in the middle of January, I feel that you are being forced into a situation or a circumstance, an energetic kind of sphere where you have to reflect on your spirituality, where you have to reflect on those things that are important, even if you do well for yourself. Because it seems to me that Capricorns are being encouraged to live their best life. And living their best life isn't necessarily being a reflection of what the world wants you to be. Isn't necessarily having a partner and a family and a big house and a lot of money in the bank. And I feel that January is all about Capricorns getting back to what counts after kind of some reckless years, living a lie in terms of your emotional life. So as you move towards the end of January, you're going to start owning up. But I feel that devil energy is going to really affect you towards the end of January. It's like you've had to be sort of pushed into a sphere where you're more spiritually focused, because by the end of January you almost have flung out. You're kind of swallowing swords by then. So things may become difficult. There may be uncomfortable situations at that time. If you're in a relationship, there will be arguments. There will be thoughts about having affairs. There could even be affairs, but I don't think so, because I feel the energies trying to stop you from indulging, and the only way you were able to do that was by being moved into a more reclusive space throughout January. So you're going to have difficulties because you're going to have to face, I feel the energy is forcing you to face the lies in your life, basically. You have to face the untruths, and also if you're single, I don't think this is the time for meeting somebody compatible with you. You might have had some opportunities at the beginning of January, but that time has passed, so you would know if those opportunities were worthwhile. But I still feel they're short-lived, or they're going to be revisited, because this month is about, I feel that Capricorns are moving through a cycle, like a karmic cycle, because the universe is trying to move you into a more honest space on a spiritual level. Honest space meaning finding out what it is you really want in life, and not living your life recklessly or according to somebody else's doctrine. That's the impression I get, because by the end of January there are going to be things that come out which are difficult, and I feel they're going to be difficult because you have to face the lies in your life, the things that really you just try to pacify, or the things you try to skim over, or the things you try to, the darkness that pervades, but you consistently tried to bandage, like you're trying to bandage wounds and I feel that the universe is going to make you reflect and then show you where those difficulties lie in your life by the end of January, because there's healing to do, there's a cycle to work through. I feel that you really are being moved into your true sense of self, and you're going to be stopped. The universal energies are working, so you work towards stability on a more authentic level. So be prepared for some turmoil at the end of January, but generally it's a very quiet month for Capricorns. Okay, so that was January 2020 for Capricorns. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box. See you next time.